In this video, I'm going to show you the fastest way to level up in Blox fruits. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so here I am in the first C on my alt account, and the first step we're going to take is we need to get our hands on an elemental fruit. The reason why we want an elemental fruit is because they provide elemental immunity. And the way the immunity works is that if you are at a higher level than the NPC will not be able to damage you. So if we go over to the wiki, we're going to see the list of all the elemental fruits that are in the game. And they're all different rarities. One really cool thing about this wiki is that it has this chart for the elemental immunity. So for example, when you fight a prisoner at level 190, you won't be immune to this prisoner until you're level 192. And there are some exceptions, like in military soldiers, they have a 50% chance to spawn with an aura, which will neutralize the immunity and you will take damage. And how you tell them apart is they're gonna have an aura around their sword that looks just like this. And you know to avoid those NPCs if you want, or to fight them, but be more careful not to die to them because you're not immune anymore. Okay, now that we have our elemental fruit, let's talk about what we're gonna do with our stats. Now when we first start leveling up, we're gonna want our stats to be distributed equally between melee, defense, and Blox fruit. Now we're gonna do this until we obtain the light fruit, because we're gonna go for the light fruit because it has the fastest flight in the game. So moving from island to island is gonna be super quick, and we're gonna take advantage of the elemental immunity. So we're gonna distribute all our stats equally between melee, defense, and Blox fruit until we get the light fruit. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go online, we're gonna look for a Blox fruit code to reset these stats, and then we're gonna start putting them all into melee and just defense. What I do is I make sure that defense matches my current character level, then the rest goes into melee. What this is gonna do is we're gonna take advantage of the fact that we can't get hit by using the elemental fruit. I'm using the Buddha fruit right now, which is also a really good fruit. But what this is gonna do is, right now I'm level 580 and I'm technically doing as much damage as a level 1159. So this is what the stats do for us. As you can see, all these NPCs will die really fast, and this will really speed up the grind. Now, just a quick side note, when completing quests, make sure you pay attention to how far the NPCs are spread apart. Sometimes it makes sense to just stay with the same NPCs until you're ready to move on to the next island. For example, here in Colosseum, the NPCs on that side don't even spawn all at once. You kind of gotta move up close to them, then they spawn. So when I was on this island, I completely avoided those and just focused this side, because it was so easy to group them up and then just complete the quest as fast as possible. Because remember, we want to be as efficient as possible, and we want to be able to move up and reach max level as soon as we can. Okay, now let's move on to fighting styles. My next recommendation is that you purchase your first fighting style as soon as you can afford to. We want to get rid of the combat fighting style as soon as possible. The reason we want to have our fighting styles purchased right away is because we want to get ready for 2nd and 3rd C. And for us to get the better fighting styles in the 2nd and 3rd C, all these fighting styles require that you have at least 400 mastery. So you want to take advantage of the fact that melee is our main form of damage. So that's what the stats do for us as well. These stats help us make sure that our melee is super strong and we're getting the mastery. So for example, I already mastered out, I think I got 300 or 400 on Dark Step, and now this is Water Kung Fu is at 240. So as soon as I reach around 300 to 400, I'm gonna move on to Electric. That way I'm ready to purchase the fighting styles in 2nd and 3rd C. Once we reach level 700 and we're at 2nd C, what we want to do is get our hands on the Buddha fruit. Reason why we want the Buddha fruit is because it's the best fruit for doing the raids. It's great for grinding and leveling up, and it's also an amazing fruit for sea events. The reason why I don't recommend it in first sea is because we don't have the ability to walk on water, and it kind of forces us to use boats. But once we reach second sea and we have the ability to go into the raids, we can awaken our Buddha fruit, or at least the very first move, and that gives us the shift instead of the transform. This awakened move will let you now walk on water. So as you can see, you can walk on water and you don't take any damage and you won't die. Once we reach the third sea, which should be level 1500, what you want to do is keep grinding with Buddha, keep doing the quests, keep mastering all the fighting styles, and eventually you're gonna reach level 1734, and by that point all of your you should have enough points to max these two out. At that point you can start adding to whatever category you want, you know, depending on what your build is gonna be. You can start adding it all to sword, gun, or Blox fruit. So plan ahead, decide, you know, once I reach max level, this is the fruit I'm gonna be running with. Then you can start adding all your stats to whatever you need. Now, the final thing I gotta say is, remember, there's all kinds of codes out there for double XP. Make sure you take advantage of them. That way you can reach the third sea as fast as possible. This has been the guide. Thanks for watching.